All right, boss. It's time to talk about that Pokemon Direct, Pokemon Z-A. The only thing that you put in the chat on Pokemon Day was L Direct. Do you want to start, and then I'll come in and tell you why you're wrong?
I mean, I don't even know how to start. They didn't show anything. If you're a fan of Pokemon Masters EX, I guess you have something to be excited for, but me personally, I didn't get really much of anything from the Direct.
All right, I cannot disagree with you anymore. I think that this was the best possible announcement that we could have gotten. And I'm gonna tell you why right now. I'll give you, hold on, what's my notes here? I'm gonna give you four reasons to be excited about this Direct. You ready? We're getting another Legends game. Arceus has been the height of Pokemon on the Switch. Was the most creative, got the best gameplay, and the best environments on the Switch, which isn't saying much, granted, but continuing the Legends series, that's a dub. We're going to Lumiose City, the best designed city, the most expansive city we've seen in a Pokemon game, and we're going back to Kalos, which probably has the most untapped potential as far as its lore goes. Megas are coming back, the best gimmick Pokemon has ever cooked up, so we should be excited about that. And it's coming in 2025, which means not only are the devs getting a little more time than they might be used to, but 2025 might be Switch 2, so they might have more time and less hardware restrictions than any Pokemon game that we've had on Switch so far. So that's 4 reasons I think we could be pretty hype about Pokemon Z-A.
There are some upsides. I do like the 2025 release. I'm really hope they just don't do anything this year if it means that the game will be of quality. As far as Legends go, Legends Arceus was great. It was fun. I don't think I want to play another one of those games. But it didn't seem like they're going in the same direction with it. It seems like it's gonna be something different.
Do you know what the saddest thing is? Is that you've missed out on the best Pokemon boss fight that we've ever had in a Pokemon game because you wouldn't collect the unknowns. And now you're going to miss out on another great ending because you're not going to collect these 100 Zygarde cells that are 100%.
If it's not fun, I'm not going to do it. If it's a miserable experience, I'm not going to subject myself to it.
Oh, you're not seeing a Zygarde, bro.
Rooms. It's just not fun.
You're not seeing a single Zygarde, bro.
Fun. Collect literally everything is not fun.
It wasn't everything. It was the Pokedex level, and the wisps were a little tedious. But the unknowns were pretty fun. There's only 26, and they were hidden pretty cleverly throughout the map. I didn't have an issue with the unknowns. It took literally like 15 minutes to get all the unknowns. The wisps were annoying only because they didn't always load in. Like, it wasn't the wisps themselves that was annoying. It was that you would be where a wisp was and it didn't load in, and then you'd have to backtrack. That was annoying.
You know what else was annoying? Fucking Munchlax. Walking in and out of the same area for 30 minutes just hoping that it would spawn in.
Yeah, there was a couple Pokemon that were a pain to get, but every Pokemon is just so easy, including like the Legends. It was pretty satisfying to do all that, and then to have that Arceus fight as your reward, I felt was pretty good.
It was satisfying to do like Enamorus and Manaphy and, you know, the actual quests. To just spawn in and out and just try to roll the percentages was not fun. Try to hunt down the wisps, you don't know which ones you got. The even with like a map, it's like, where is it? Because the map is so vague. There's different elevations. It could be in a hole somewhere. It's just, it's not fun to hunt that stuff down, in my opinion.
Well, I'm generally not a fan of collectibles. I get your point there. You're 100% collecting these cells though. That's gonna be in this game.
Probably, yeah.
All right, since I'm gonna be the positive one in this episode, as I probably will be as the resident Pokemon stan on this channel. A couple other things that we know, because this Direct told us a lot, if you were paying attention. If you could read between the lines, this Direct gave you a lot of information.
Yeah. Like what?
So for instance, the official description reads that this is a new adventure awaits within Lumiose City, and that was doubled down on by a tweet from Nintendo of America. So it seems like this whole game is going to be within Lumiose City, which wasn't my first impression, but I think that could be really cool. Like when you look top down at the map, it looked like there was some nodes, some like wide main streets, some like back alleys, so you could get still like a variety of gameplay that way. Like if you're in one of these cities in modern gaming, like a Cyberpunk or GTA, like that could be really cool for a Pokemon game. I'm not saying we're gonna get that level scale wise, but I just think that the setting is going to be something that we haven't seen in a Pokemon game so far. So just that in itself, I think, is a plus. It's going to be a fresh experience Pokemon wise. For them to pull that off, my expectation is that this is going to be probably like the most detailed, lively environment that they've ever done. I'm pretty excited about going back to the city. I mean, I'm a big Gen 6 stan. I've told you that Lumiose City is the best city in Pokemon, might be one of the best locations they've ever designed in Pokemon. So I'm pretty hyped to go back to Kalos.
You know what I like about Pokemon? Exploring and, you know, finding Pokemon, interacting in their habitats and trying to catch them all, you know? How they're gonna pull that off in one urban setting, maybe it is a big departure from the series, and maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's not about collecting Pokemon. Maybe it's not, you know, a catch 'em all type quest like Legends Arceus was. Maybe that's good. I'm excited for something fresh, but I don't know how it works in the world of Pokemon, so to say.
Well, if you look down at the city, two things. If you look down at the city, it's one segmented. It looks like a big pizza pie. Like there's different sections of the city, which I think could have different vibes. Like if you go into like New York City, like Greenwich has a much different vibe. Like it's a lot more lush. There's a lot of greenery versus if you go into like downtown Manhattan, which is all like skyscrapers, like concrete jungle. So I think they can definitely get a variety that way. There looks like there's several nodes. Like when you look down, there's like circles in the map, which I imagine could be parks or pools.
And those were in X and Y.
Right, but I'm trying to think just at like, if we're talking about this whole game is within the city, I'm just thinking like if you take that concept then you have to scale it up. Like that's one way to add variety. I wouldn't be surprised if you're going on quests outside of the city, like if there's like a grassland or like routes directly surrounding. And I kind of have a feeling there's going to be time travel in this game.
I did see some time travel theories. So
things that I've noticed, and then there was one thing that I liked that someone else pointed out. So the obvious things in the trailer, two different art styles. You had like the sketchy art style that it wasn't the same. It was much like more clean line work. But but it was still like the hand-drawn art style that we saw from the Legends trailer, Legends Arceus trailer, as compared to like the blueprint like Tron City when like Pikachu like was running around. So the juxtaposition of those two styles is one thing. I think it being called Z-A, which I think is definitely a reference to AZ, but it's backwards.
Oh, you think?
So, listen, I said I would say the obvious stuff first. Something when I was reading through the comments was that at the very end, when they're going through like the Neon City, there is a Talonflame flying, and it flies onto the bridge, and then you zoom out, and then there's a Fletchinger flying around there. So that was like someone was saying that might have been like a callback to like traveling back into the past, which could be a stretch, but I definitely am getting some time travel vibes here. So if you're traveling back in time to like a less developed Lumiose City, maybe you're doing things in the past to influence how the city is built in the future. That could add variety of gameplay and variety of environments. So I can see steel and rock types in the downtown area, electric types by the Lumiose Eiffel Tower. I can see grass types in Greenwich. I can see water types in those pools and fountains. I think they can figure it out.
That's a couple types, yeah. I mean, I hope that they do have actual environments. They didn't really show anything about what the game is gonna be, so my expectations aren't like I'm not trying to bash on it. I'm just saying they didn't really tell us anything except, hey, we're making a new game.
I mean, going back to, first of all, another point I'll make is that no one had Legends Kalos on their Pokemon bingo cards for this thing. So I'll applaud them for being creative with their next game.
Why no one had Legends Kalos on their thing? No one wanted it.
Bruh, I want it. I think people's big gripe with the original X and Y games is that the story was really lacking, but the lore of the region is really cool, dude. I mean, the region has a backstory of war, betrayal, genocide. The destruction Pokemon is one of the box legends. There's the Zygarde is the guardian of the ecosystem, and his Pokedex entry reads, I got in my notes here, it wipes out all those who oppose it, showing not a shred of mercy. So I think there's a really cool opportunity here to explore some of those things we missed in the original games. Like, you can imagine if this is the urban redevelopment plan of Kalos, well, maybe the guardian of the ecosystem isn't too happy about you building over those different landscapes and expanding the city. So I think like you could potentially clash with Zygarde and like that classic Pokemon man versus nature trope that they seem to fall back on. I mean, we never even got to see really in the games Xerneas versus Yveltal. Like, they were so underutilized, and I think this is a really cool way to bring out some really awesome lore that they didn't capitalize in the original X and Y.
Yeah, I don't think my beef with the original X and Y was wanting more story. I think it was terrible pacing, brain dead gameplay, and just being unfinished in terms of certain environments and locations, and they did nothing with the sundial, nothing with that power plant. It was very much seemed rushed, and that they definitely had more planned that they weren't able to finish, and it doesn't seem like that's what they're going to do with this new game. It doesn't seem like they're going back to Kalos to finish it. They're just building on that lore, which I mean, I guess in terms of Pokemon, it's more interesting, but that's not really what I'm looking for in terms of my Pokemon games.
But just from the title of the game and how Arceus explored the backstory and the tribes and the like pseudo religion around the what are they, the creation, are they the creation trio?
Yeah.
Like, I think just the fact that it's a Legends game, I'm definitely expecting them to revisit the legends of Kalos. I mean, I think Yveltal versus Xerneas, like actually seeing those two interact is something that they could do really well. And I like, you know, this is going to be my prediction for the game, is I think that whatever your role is with the redevelopment of Lumiose, I think Zygarde is going to have an issue with that. And I think he's going to try and protect the ecosystem. And I think that's going to be like your boss fight in this game.
And yeah, obviously Zygarde is the main character. I don't know if obviously Xerneas and Yveltal are gonna do something, but I don't think they're meant to be clashing. I think like life and death are presented in those games as counterparts working together. And when it gets disrupted, that's when Zygarde comes in.
But
I don't know.
Didn't they show that in the movie though, with Yveltal like destroying the forest and cocooning Pokemon and Xerneas like restoring them?
I do not know. I don't know what movie they were in.
I do hope, one of like my wish lists for this game is that it has a little bit of a darker tone or a more mature tone, which I think, I wouldn't say Arceus is like a dark game or anything like that, but I think it definitely at least turns the dial a notch from the classic school kid going out on their first Pokemon adventure. I hope that in this like urban setting where we could have like this dark, like dystopian, like grimy setting, and 2 out of your 3 Pokemon are the destruction Pokemon and the merciless protector of the environment. I do hope that we get a, maybe not even dark, but some like high stakes narrative in this game.
Yeah, we're always on opposite pages here. My ideal Pokemon is just focus on the gameplay and just let us experience it. Arceus had such good gameplay, it was so fun, but they were so hesitant a lot of the times just to even let you start the game. There's just so much bullshit going around, and I just want to catch the guys. I want to explore and catch the funny guys. You can have a story, but just not such a hindering one.
It has to be both. It's not a one-dimensional franchise. At least it's some people like the exploration, some people like the monster collecting, some people like the battling. I think it's got a hit on all of them. So yeah, I want to catch the guys and make my team and explore the region, but I want to have some motivation to do so. I want to rebuild the city, or maybe I don't. I gotta, digest the narratives, digest both sides, and, maybe there's a little kind of choose your own path in the game. Who knows? But I like narrative in my game. I don't think that's an unpopular opinion. I don't think that's a hot take.
Narrative is fine, just don't destroy the pacing of the gameplay to tell a half-assed story.
All right, Megas are back, baby. I think that's what got me the most hype.
Megas will be in Z-A, and that's it, probably.
Think about how much they hyped Hisuians coming into the mainline game. I think that'd be a huge miss for them to do Megas here and then leave them there. I think if they're doing Megas in this Legends game, whatever I assume it's going to be Gen 10. Whatever the next mainline Pokemon game is going to have Megas, or at the very least, Megas are going to be in the DLC of that game. I think it would be a huge miss to not have that crossover that they did with the Hisuians into the DLC of Scarlet and Violet. They did like that whole mini series about it. They had callbacks to Hisuian characters in the DLC. If Megas are in Legends, which they are, I don't know why I'm saying if, Megas are going to be in Gen 10 of Pokemon. Mainline game, we're going to be playing with them on Showdown. They're coming back for at least another generation.
I'm not sure about that. I don't know if that's true. Pokemon has been very adamant about keeping Megas in the spin-offs. Every single spin-off still has Megas in it and supports Megas. Masters EX, Go, I don't know about Unite, but they all still support and release new Megas. Look at Let's Go. They brought back Megas. Where were they in Gen 8?
But Legends is like as close to a mainline game without being a mainline game as it gets. Like Let's Go is a mobile game. Like Unite is a
Let's Go is a home console mainline game.
Oh, but Let's Go was a tie-in to Pokemon Go, which is a mobile game.
It's part of Gen 8.
But it was just such free marketing when the Hisuians got introduced into the games. And they hyped it up so much.
Forms for it.
Yeah, I think there'll be regional forms, and I think there's gonna be new Megas, and I think Megas in the DLC of Gen 10 is probably what I would think is most likely, but
maybe the DLC. I think Pokemon's pretty firmly established that they're trying something new every gen. I think they want to keep it fresh. It's working for them. I mean, they're selling better than ever, so I'd be surprised if they revisited Megas with more than a very minor emphasis.
I don't know. You know what the most profitable aspect of Pokemon is? It's nostalgia, bro. If any chance to capitalize on that feeling, that drug of nostalgia, they're gonna do it. I don't think they're above bringing Megas back, and I really feel like they're gonna make an appearance in the next mainline game after this. It's just a perfect way to cross promote the games. They've set the precedent for it.
Yeah, by never bringing Megas back. That's their precedent.
You know, I want to think that Pokemon is hearing the feedback from fans, because this is really the first game where they are, right? Because Sword and Shield was reviewed very well. Legends Arceus was reviewed very well. The reviews, like Scarlet and Violet, are almost universally rated as the worst Pokemon games ever, mainline games ever. So, you know, I'm hoping that
sales. That's what Pokemon cares about. New gimmicks sell. Revisiting Megas isn't as exciting as something new.
Yeah, I agree the sales aren't going to go down with one bad gen, but now what if it's 2 or 3 bad gens? I think sales are going to start going down.
So if they're scared of losing sales, I don't think that revisiting Megas is going to boost them back up.
Not in the vacuum.
Try something new again. I don't think that Hero was the reason that Scarlet and Violet are looked down upon. I think it's because they're buggy, unplayable disaster of a game.
They're not unplayable. Catch my article on this.
Not unplayable.
Catch my article on the website. Scarlet and Violet have plenty of good redeeming factors. I will defend those games to a certain extent.
Oh, here we go again.
I don't think
Belly Bolt. That's pretty good.
I think Megas will be the main shtick in Legends Z-A. I don't think it'll be the main shtick in Gen 10, but they weren't the main gimmick in Gen 7 either, but they came back. Something like that, where it's endgame or it's DLC.
And Gen 7 was a disaster to balance. I think that's why they stopped bringing back these gimmicks. That's why they're isolating them to certain gens. I'd be very surprised if Gen 10 features Megas.
So do you have any bold predictions or things that you would really want to see from this game?
From this game, I mean, I feel like they didn't really give me anything to work with here.
All right, I got one for you, and you're gonna love it. Get your beer ready. I think one of the starters will be Charmander, and we will see Mega Charizard Z.
Yeah. I mean, I think that is very, very possible.
That would be so cool, dude.
No, it wouldn't.
I would like that. I wrote down my starter trio. You ready?
Shoot.
So I eliminated every other Pokemon with Megas because I assume they're gonna want to give the starters Megas, right? I also eliminated the Kalos starters and the starters that were chosen for Legends Arceus. Still quite a few to choose from, but here's my ideal candidates. So we have Charizard as the fire starter, Totodile as the water. I think Mega Totodile would be Mega Fraligator would be badass. And Snivy as the grass starter.
Well, you immediately broke your elimination rule, bringing Charmander back.
No, I said everyone but Charmander because that makes sense with the theme. But I don't think they would give. I don't think Venusaur or Blastoise would get like a Mega Z. But because there was a Mega Charizard X, Mega Charizard Y, I think it would make sense for. That didn't break my rule. That's the first thing I said.
I'd be upset. My prediction for the starters, and you might not like it: Chespin, Fennekin, and Froakie. I think that they're gonna bring back Megas and they're gonna focus on Gen 6 Mons. Giving Gen 6 Mons Megas.
I wouldn't hate that at all. I think the Pokemon that I like really like Dragonite, Greninja, I'm almost like scared for them to get Megas. But
if they turn out like Gyarados,
the big shrimp, yeah. But I like that idea a lot. I think there could be some really awesome Megas. I think the other two starters would be hype because I think they're a little lackluster compared to Greninja at least.
Well, I like Delphox and Chestnut.
I like Chestnut. Like Mega Noivern, dude. Mega Pyroar.
Third Gudra form.
Third Gudra would make sense. That could be cool. The big panda. Pancham. Pangoro. Mega Pangoro could be cool.
Trevenant.
Bro, there's some heat in Gen 6. I've been trying to put you, not you so
Mega
much.
Halucha?
Bro, Mega Halucha could be pretty cool.
Mega Halucha could be, but
yeah, I like that because mostly just because I like the Gen 6 decks. I think that could be really cool.
A lot of them need something going for them.
Yeah, because a lot of them, there's such cool designs, but like I think every single one that we just mentioned, like they're not, like at least competitively, like not really viable.
Gudra's good.
I know you like Gudra, but it's not in the competitive scene. All right, Gudra's good. You know, no form. Game Freak, you listening? Gudra's good. No more forms for Gooey Boy.
Don't mess with Gudra. It doesn't need a mega. It's perfect.
Oh, the Hisuian form is cool.
I just like how scared Game Freak is of Gen 5. I think it's so funny, and I kind of like it.
Because Gen 5 just exists in this like perfect, clean little bubble. It's like Gen 5 almost doesn't feel like it's part of the Pokemon universe. It just feels like it's off to the side. It almost feels like it's a side game.
It's perfect. What are you gonna do? Remake it and make the graphics worse?
Yeah, I wouldn't rule out Gen 5 remakes. Although
It'll happen eventually.
Yeah, I do hope that they're probably gonna give it to another studio, and I'm not hopeful because of what you said. I do think they're a little timid to mess with Gen 5 because they know how well received it is, that they're not gonna let them have any creative liberties. I think it's gonna be a carbon copy.
Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah, and that's my least favorite Pokemon game. I was very upset that I was just playing Diamond and Pearl again.
What I was really hoping for was Legends Kyurem with the original dragon, or Black and White 3. Just give us the original dragon.
I think I'd prefer Black and White 3 because I feel like the Legends and like the tone and the themes of that game are very well explored already. I don't think you need to go back in time. The original dragon would be cool. But I think I'd prefer, just because 2 just built on that region so perfectly. Like the characters were older, the cities aged. I kind of want them to just run it back. I think I would prefer 3 over
and make it a
Legends
DS game. Just bring back the DS.
Make it a DS game. Is
release
crazy.
the DS game in 2027 or something.
Maybe the Switch 2 will flip open and be dual screen. Do you think we're gonna see the Great War? Like, how do you feel about the time travel thing? You think we're going to war?
No.
No war?
No. I think the best you're gonna get is maybe Eternal Floette finally.
Oh, Eternal Floette is coming.
Maybe.
She's gonna come.
But Pokemon, I'd be very, very surprised if Pokemon went to war. And they actually showed it. Maybe they'll like vaguely have 2 conflicting sides, but bro, I don't think we're gonna get a great war.
I changed my whole wish list. This is the opening scene. Ready? You're in like a dark room. There's other trainers around. They're like in armor. There's some Pokemon in there. Maybe there's some like armor forms in there. You're in this dark room. It's rattling. All of a sudden it stops. One wall falls down. You march the beach. It's Pokemon D-Day. You're running. It's Legends RC style. You got whatever weapon they're using. You're throwing stuff. Your Pokemon's attacking. All hell's breaking loose. You're seeing great weapons up in the sky. Alter flashes to white. Then you the title screen. And then you're dealing with the fallout.
Well, I'm glad they showed at least one thing of vague interest.
What's that?
Pokemon Z-A.
Vague interest?
The first 10. Peeking, they didn't show anything.
I got whole pages of, look at all the stuff they showed.
Of theories.
No, some are quotes. If anything, I think it's a creative direction to go in. I don't think I didn't see this on anyone's prediction videos. No leaker got this one right. A one city Pokemon game is interesting. Megas are coming back. They're giving the devs some time to actually make it, and it could be on new hardware. I think there's a lot to look forward to. There's a lot I'm excited about. I was pretty happy. I'm pretty excited. I think Pokemon fans should be excited about this announcement.
Yeah, it was a little information in the right direction.
Fair enough. Thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments, are you excited about this game? We're definitely going to have more discussions as more information comes out. So follow us here or on our other platforms to keep up with the conversation and join in. Thanks for watching.